Hello, hello, everybody. We are coming live, waiting to see myself on YouTube just to make sure that we are live. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, it's 11:01. Monitor your thoughts because whatever you're thinking, positive and negative, you are manifesting very quickly. So, I am so excited to introduce you. This is another Chillin with Spirit episode. And today we are streaming live with Mark and Jennifer Ludman. They are the proud owners of a 40-acre spiritual retreat off the Oregon coast called an Oasis in Nature. You know, Mark, they and Jennifer have created just this beautiful, calm awareness, this space for light. It's full of forest and animals. There's just so much beauty there. And if you notice in the premiere video, you saw Mark sitting by this little pond and this gorgeous, gorgeous Buddha. So we're going to talk to them about everything. They are incredible energy healers that offer a wide variety of healing modalities, and they equate it all to that divine source energy. So I am ready to roll. Let's welcome Mark and Jennifer Ludman. They are coming to us live. There they are. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. How are you? How are you?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we've got a few people watching already. Yay. Oh my gosh. So I just want to remind everybody, you can post in the chat questions. We will answer anything. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Give us your name, and we are just ready to answer your questions. So Mark and Jennifer, can you give them just a brief introduction of who you are, what you're about, and wonderful An Oasis in Nature? You can find them at www.anoasisinnature.com. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning and welcome. So we are a long married couple that have spent a lifetime of spiritual.
We may have a few glitches here and then, guys, but don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Just hang in there with us. It even might be my internet because I guess I've had some problems this morning. So just hang in there. So you guys pause for just a minute. I think it's my internet. So can you please start over? Wonderful, wonderful technology.
Why would our internet connection be unstable?
Well, I can hear you pretty good. So if you'll just introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
Okay, so we closed our business in 2017, spent a year traveling, and then our life dramatically changed. All these abilities came out of how I could help people and how Jennifer can help people. And we have all different kinds of things at our center to help in the healing process.
So I love when I went onto your website, just the pictures of serenity. Can you tell us about what's on this 40 acres and what is a spiritual retreat if someone were to come and visit you?
So we have forest, 18 acres of forest, and 22 acres of pasture and farm buildings. We have cows, goats, sheep, ducks, turkeys, and geese.
Yes, and goats.
And we have new babies regularly this time of year. We had 2 new baby sheep yesterday. I haven't even seen them yet. I forgot about them.
So we have 4 little lambs now. They're so adorable.
I can't tell you how jealous I am of you guys to wake up every day in such a calm awareness. I love that. So you also have a dome home and you have some other healing physical things that people, when they come there, can do. Can you tell us about all of that? And then I want to dive deeper into your modalities, your story. And then Jennifer has a really cool story about how she came to gather these beautiful sound healing bowls. So let's start with what's your modalities? What do you do? And all of the things you offer on. I love the light therapy. That's me. Light therapy and sound therapy is me.
So the things we have is we have hyperbaric oxygen tent. That's my newest thing. We have 3 different kinds of red light therapy. We have our sauna, our flotation tank, our chemical-free hot tub, our pulse magnetic field device. What's a water making device?
The hydrogen water making device.
We have a hydrogen water making device.
Mhm.
We teach alternative health. I've studied it extensively. And then you're asking about our abilities, correct?
Well, let's kind of go a little deeper. So you just got
Okay.
the oxygen chamber. What does that do for you?
Well, so the belief is that back in the age of dinosaurs, the Earth's atmosphere was much thicker. It's why dinosaurs could grow so big and had small lungs. So what it does is it concentrates the oxygen in you, which helps your body heal and become healthier.
And it does it with pressure, because we are at 21 atmospheres of oxygen, 21% in the air that we breathe. And how that works is the molecules of oxygen connect to our red blood cells. Now, when you get in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, what happens is with the pressure, and you feel like you're going up in an airplane, and the pressure puts the oxygen into the blood plasma. It bypasses the red blood cells and goes into the blood plasma. So in an hour, you're putting 30% more oxygen into your body. And how this works is every day our bodies use oxygen, for our normal functioning. But when we hurt our arm or sprain our ankle, or any kind of injury requires more oxygen. And so the hyperbaric really helps with anything like that. If you had a sprained ankle or, yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like it kind of fast forwards the healing, the natural body healing. It also kind of sounds like, because I'm going to be 61 in March, it also sounds like a fountain of youth, because oxygen right? I love that. So tell us about the light therapy and how it affects the body too, because when I first met you, you're not just those woo-woo healers, which I love woo-woo healers because I'm one myself, but you also have these other tools that you use that complement what you do with spirit and source energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we have helmet. I've been using the red light helmet now ever since we got it daily. And what I'm noticing with the red light helmet, first of all, we've got miles and miles of tiny blood vessels in our heads. And when you use the red light therapy, it actually mobilizes these vessels, these capillaries, so blood is getting there. And when they take thermography pictures of people using the red light helmet, it lights up. It goes from blue and green into a kind of an orange color. And I'm noticing an interesting thing. I'm becoming curious about things. My curiosity about learning is growing. And I think that's because it's helping more dendrites to grow in the brain, and it's helping me get more oxygen. It's also helping, I've had a problem with a little bit of tremors in my hands, and it's helping that because it helps brain function. It helps, anybody that is tending toward the things that happen sometimes for people in old age with Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's and all those neurological functions. So, and it's also very calming. There's a little part that goes on your back, and then the red light helmet. And then it has a nasal device, which you put in both your nostrils. And that gets the red light into your blood, because anybody knows, if you get hit in the nose, how fast you bleed and how much. All the blood in our bodies goes through the nasal cavity every 5 minutes. So you're really energizing your whole body with the nasal device that comes with the red light helmet that we have.
Oh my goodness. I would love to try that. But I would also like to take pictures, because I bet it's a contraption that
it is.
You have it. So it kind of just all works symbiotically with not only your neurotransmitters, but I really believe that light therapy helps synapses. So when we get older, our synapses kind of misfires. And, at a center that I recently worked at, we use light therapy on a sound bed, and it heals you mind, body, and spirit. It's just not what that one thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, so
This is
the
one of
whole
our
thing.
devices. We have 3 different devices, Jennifer.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what would one expect? Would you do some, do you, I hate to say prescribe, but do you suggest when someone comes to meet with you, what would work for them? Because not everything might work. I mean, I would love to try everything, but oh my goodness, that is amazing. Oh
This
my
is a little
goodness.
pad that you can put on any place on your body that is, you have an ache, say in your shoulder or your finger or, you know, your sacrum, you can put it on. I love to put it on my lower back because at night it's really calming. It's really calming. And then this little device is the nasal device, and you just turn it on, and it you can set it on a timer, and you know, one is glowing with the red light and one is this little blue light, and then you just put them
In your nose.
in your nostrils, just a
Up
little.
into your nasal cavity so it shines through.
Well,
Yeah.
but all your blood goes, a lot of your blood goes through your nose every 5
Every 5 minutes, all the blood in your body goes through your nose. So that's you kind of have to hold it if you're sitting up, but this is how it works.
Oh, I must try that. Well, and you know, too, it's funny because a lot of doctors prescribe medications that are inhaled because it
Yes,
does
true.
go throughout your body a lot quicker. Oh my gosh, I love that. So when we come to you guys, do you, and again, I want to go back to, do you suggest, or what can I expect? Do I meet with you? What can somebody expect? And then do you suggest these different therapies, or how does this all flow together?
Everyone is different. So it depends on you and what you want and what you want help with.
So
typically
explain,
when someone
go
comes,
ahead.
I will work with them individually.
And so tell me about that process, because I want you guys to do a little demonstration if you don't mind.
No, we don't mind at all. That's what I always thought we might do today.
Perfect. So why don't we first talk about all of your different modalities, all in a very quick manner, your travelings and how you grew and what these modalities are, where you, because I found it very interesting. Not everybody watched the video before, but some people did. If you have any questions, please post them. So you guys started somewhere. Where did that start? And then what modalities and what healing methods came to you? Start from A and let's work to Z, is not it quickly,
It's a
but
long story.
there's so much to fit in, and just, we're going to go a little over an hour. And if people want us to do a little bit more, we will, but please where did you guys start? Tell us about your healing modalities.
So it's like I mentioned, it started when I was 18. My dad was a minister. He had a conference. I walked in the room and thought I was plugged into a light socket. It was very intense. I now believe it was a Kundalini awakening. He told me I had the gift of healing, and that's where my healing interest started. So that led to our marriage, literally.
Because we were living in a group spiritual home at the time. That's how we met. We were living in this group spiritual home with 6 guys, 6 girls, and a family.
My mother would call that a hippie commune.
It's yeah.
Well, this was owned by a church.
Well, there's some churches that are just like that. I know, because Rainy Day really grew up in that. Oh, I'm so excited. I love you so far, so much.
Yeah, and we both really liked this particular minister who was American Indian also. And he used to talk to the trees, and he was just amazing. So that's how we really became connected. It's through our connection to Source, because we both love God, and Source is the most important thing in our life, and being in tune with the divine.
I love that. So then your marriage, and then you started your business, then your family, and your travels kind of intertwined in all of this.
Yes, right. I've been to India 6 times. We've been to Bali. We've been to Bhutan, Central and South America, Peru, Machu Picchu. Went to Barbara School of Healing for 3 years. Been to Monroe Institute 4 times. Worked with Abby Electricita. What's the other lady's name?
Val Tijanidi.
Val Tijanidi, who is one of the people he woke up, and the other one.
Jane.
Jane Sibbett.
It's just a dancing hands. She dances her energy of healing. Yeah.
But what really launched what we're doing now is our second trip to Bali.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did all these things in Bali, had some amazing experience.
Stand by, everybody. We're having just a few technical difficulties. Stand by. It is worth the wait. We're going to get to the root of where they came up with their abilities. And if I lost you, Mark and Jenna, oh, there you are. We lost you.
Okay.
So you were talking about your first experience in Bali and what healing came to light, how you knew what you had, your hands in the healing light.
So we were scheduled to fly out of the country, but the volcano went off. I had my driver had his wife had lupus, and he mentioned it to me. I said, well, let me see her. I don't know if I can help her, but I'll see her. So every day for 4 days, I went to see her and put my hands on her. After 4 days, she recovered. So I thought I better do something with this.
Just by the laying of hands?
And run an energy, which is what happens when I run my hands.
Can you tell us what that process is? What does it feel like? Where do you start? How does this, does it just flow?
Well,
what is it? I know that's a big question.
No, it's a lot different nowadays. If I point my hand at you right now, like I'm doing, energy runs through me into you. I don't generate it. I don't think about it, but I do track it and follow it.
Can you give a little demonstration?
I'm doing it.
So I think I just need to be more receptive to it.
Well, you got your mind going a lot.
My mind always goes.
And a little bit of blocking going on there.
So tell me more. Talk us through this.
Well,
you could, I don't care. I'm an open book. Everybody knows Rainy Day. I'm open book. Just spit it out. I'm good with it all.
so just on an inner thoughts, let yourself let it in. Oh, there. That's better. That's shifted. So I can tell what's happening. I don't know how I know that. I just know it. There, it got a little stronger. Now, do you notice anything?
Just a calmness, and my
Okay.
heart feels heavy, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, okay. I thought you would feel it mostly in your heart. So when I work with people and do this, I start getting information about them often. I'll know about past lives sometimes. A lot of people come to me that are on the verge of waking up, what I call waking up, and I can help them wake up. I also heal emotional and physical trauma, and people get physically well of things.
So what are you picking up?
Well, it doesn't quite work that way.
That's okay. I'm putting you on the spot.
I know, it's fine. What do you know about trauma in your life?
A lot.
Yeah, I get that. That's what I get as trauma. It started when you were 4. What do you know about 4 years old?
So my mother, 2 times in my life, was involved in a major car wreck. And she was,
Okay.
I was 2 months old. She broke her back and was away from me for 6 months. And I was raised by my grandmother, my aunts, and my uncles. And then that happened again around age 3.
Okay. That makes sense. And that corresponds. I get 4, but 4 is when you became more aware of it. Oh, there's a strong feeling of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I learned, some guy told me this. He said, you heal
Ego state.
ego states. I said, what's that?
What is that?
Ego
I've never heard of that.
I had never heard of it. I knew people got healed from emotional things, but I didn't have a word for it. An ego state is when you get bit by a dog, when you're through it, every time you see that kind of dog or that experience, you go back into that wound.
And cupboards and everything, and when you see a dog coming towards you, all of a sudden that little 3-year-old comes out from the closet and she's terrified, and that's an ego state, and it's very alive. It's a real thing until we work with it and heal that little girl, who got stuck in that. So you maybe had this child at 3 who your mother was gone all of a sudden, she just had this accident and she was gone. So all this loneliness, this little 3-year-old in the closet comes out and says, oh, this is happening again. This circumstance is happening in my life. And this is happening again, kind of a thing. And she comes out. So that's what Mark works on healing.
I love that you say that, because I have a master's degree in clinical behavioral psychology. And what you say really has basis in science. And until you know what that is, like I never really, until you brought that to my awareness, I never really understood what that was. But I think it's in the awareness as part of the healing. Would you agree?
I don't understand what you mean by you didn't understand what that was.
So the trauma, I never really equated anything. You know how sometimes when you have a lot of trauma, you don't really think about it. But when it's brought to the forefront and you can look at it, wow, that really did affect me when I was a child, my mother being gone. And until you can bring it into the awakening, the awareness,
sure.
That's still, I call it energy is still kind of stuck in your essence. But it's the recognition that starts the healing, that you can recognize that I don't need to let that trigger me anymore because that's in the past and I know what it is. Now that I know what it is, it's easier for me as a human and a spiritual soul to be able to say, whoa, that was then and this is now. I don't need to attach to that energy.
Well,
it's almost like it pulls that energy out.
There's also the fact that we are many parts. This is one part of me, and I give that part a name, and I recognize when Lucy comes up, and I realize that this is a part that I will probably always have to some degree. And when she comes up and she starts being upset or crying, then I'll say, "Oh, Lucy, come here," and I'll kiss her and say, I hear you, Lucy. I hear you're scared, and it's okay. I'm here with you. I'll walk through this situation with you. So it's like there are no bad parts inside of us. Each part is valuable. And when a part comes up and starts crying or screaming or whatever, you just kind of say, oh, what part of me is that? And, I can love myself. And it really helps us to love other people, because then we can see the parts that come up in them. Oh, that's the lonely child, or that's the scared one. And then you get used to seeing where that began, and you can gradually, as situations come up that trigger you, you can gradually heal this. And that's what Mark's energy does, is bring out these parts so you can recognize them and work with them and love yourself and, heal.
So where do we go from here, Mark? Now that you've identified that.
Well, here's what I want you to do. I
saw you going like this.
Yeah, that's working with source. Oh. What I want you to do is stand up for a moment.
I have very little space.
What? No, that's fine. You don't have to get away. I just wanted, so put your arms down for me. So, okay, you can sit back down. I do this with every client. I often have them send me a picture. I can look at your body and tell about how much childhood trauma you have in you.
Go for it.
So that's what I was doing. I'm looking right there. I've never gonna do it myself. I'm looking right there. You've worked through a lot of yours. It's not strong.
That's good to hear.
But what my work does is it heals that trauma so it's no longer affecting you. Our first 7 years of our life, we develop our personality and our emotional body. Now, if you had a difficult childhood with abusive parents, you don't have a foundation. If you build a house, the first thing you got to have is a foundation. So a lot of people are walking around with no foundations. I help build that foundation in them.
Oh my gosh. So I have to tell you how that just felt to me. It felt almost as if it were a relief that there's not as much of that, because I had a very hippie chick mom who was very free spirited, did a lot of, I was born in the 60s. I'm a little love child. And my mom used to tease me, well, your dad could be Dan Quayle or Charles Manson. I'm like, oh, thanks, Ma. And my mom wasn't much older than I am. So recognizing these things is freeing. And the fact that you pointed out that you saw that I had worked through a lot of it, for me was just such like a breath out, like a sigh of relief. So guys, did you just feel that shift?
I do think you need more help with building your foundation.
Agree.
That's what you struggle with some. So once you get that inner foundation, then your whole life just starts going differently. A lady messaged me this morning, one of my clients. She has these nodules on her fingers. She says, for 3 days, I was in peace and my nodules went way down. This morning, I woke up upset and they're back. Well, we got to.
Oh my goodness. So I have a couple of people who just text me and they're tuning in. They have more questions for you. Guys, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, please post them here. So tell us a little bit more about your journey.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how to answer that.
So you told me that you had some kind of a spiritual awakening in a cave.
Yes.
Yeah, not everybody was able to watch our last video. If you can expand on that. When I first talked to you about that, a lot of people that come to me or students of mine, I'm a spiritual educator, they're searching for those aha moments. And it's really hard to kind of say when. I've always had these abilities, but I'm always still growing in abilities and I still get those aha moments. So can you kind of walk us through that awakening, your personal awakening?
You're talking about when I was 18?
No, when you were in Bali. You were talking about when you went.
Oh, yes. Okay. So in Bali, we were supposed to fly out of the country, but the volcano went off, so we got stuck. I had 2 days to get to Jakarta, where my next flight was, because I scheduled a 2-day overlay in Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. So I go talk to my driver. He's going to drive us to the next island, which is the island Jakarta's on. But he says, oh, I'm going to take my wife to see a healer. So I said, can we go see her? He said, sure. Now, Bali has black magic and dark magic. I don't want anything to do with dark magic. And I've seen on his iPad people going through dark magic. So I didn't know what this healer was going to be like. He picks us up. There's 8 of us, it turns out. We get there. Same thing they say every time I went to see a healer. There's no one here. We always had private sessions with these healers. We did 3 of them. We sit around for a while and wait. Up above us, some doors open up. There's a whole complex. We can see a bright yellow room. And they say, you can go up and watch if you want. So we go up in there and sit on this narrow platform, balcony. There is a black statue on both sides of little men smoking live cigarettes, concrete. On the left side, there is another little shrine with open bottles of alcohol and glasses poured. They're appeasing the gods. There's people sitting next to us when we're walking in, work with a couple. He's pulling on her hair and rubbing her stomach. We believe she wanted to have a baby. She wanted to get pregnant. So I'm still leery. And all of a sudden, next to me, I hear this music come on. It's a boombox, and it's playing what I thought was my CD, but it was similar. A CD I purchased. It's nuns, Buddhist nuns singing, chanting. And I look over at it, and it says Seattle Seahawks on it. That's the closest football team to me. I've never seen any sports memorabilia anywhere in Bali of any kind of sports team. I immediately knew we were going to have a good experience. After he gets done with this couple, we all go in and sit down. I'm sitting against a wall. He looks at me and says, you have an old man behind you. He's seen one of my guides.
Incredible. Keep going.
Katoot, my driver, says, I don't see anyone. And everyone starts laughing. Then he looks at us and gets all excited. We have these little small bracelets on our hands. We both do.
They're like friendship bracelets, little woven bracelets.
He tells us that to be a healer in Bali, you need to go to a certain temple and have a certain ceremony done. This temple's on a different island.
Nusa Penida.
Say it.
Nusa Penida. is the island that it's on. And before we left on our trip, Mark had been watching videos and he found this one temple, and he showed it to me. It was in a cave. And I said, oh my gosh, we've got to go there. We've got to go there. I want to go there. And so we did.
Well, some you get all these people contacting you, want to be your driver if you're on Facebook groups for Bali. So some guy contacted me, sent all these pictures, and one of them was of that cave. I said, great, you can take me there.
Oh
So
my
we go to the
goodness.
beach, we take a fast boat, we go to this cave, which he'd never been to, it turned out. You go walk up all these steps, you're on a little small platform with about 10 Hindu priests walking around.
And then there's material like this in back of us here, this black and white material, and it's covering a hole. And we said, where do we go? And they said, over there. And I said, well, that's a piece of material. Well, you lift it up and there's a hole in the ground and you crawl in this hole.
For about 10 feet, and you're in this massive
cavern.
Quarter or half
I
mile
would be
long
terrified
cave.
at first. I would be terrified at first and then like in awe.
That's what happened.
Well, it's more than that. So you're in this massive cave with a path running through it, made out of little chips of marble, and you follow it. It has lights on it, and there's mold in there, and there's little bugs crawling around. And we explore it all, and after we think we're done, and then we see someone way up in the back coming around a corner. So, well, what's that? So we go up there and walk around a corner. There's a whole shrine there.
And two priests, two Hindu Balinese priests were there in all their regalia. And Mark and I had on our Balinese traditional, the sari and the traditional dress that you use in honor of going to their temples. We always do this. And so we went over and knelt before the altar with probably 30 different deities on this altar. And we started praying, and these priests look at us. And then they came over and they started doing a blessing on us and gave us these bracelets.
So that's the ceremony you have to be a healer in Bali.
And
we didn't know that until we got to the other guy.
See, so it was divine source. Something led you there.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh, it was pure synergy. And is that where that light just kind of started coming out?
Well, no, it's more than that. He gets up, walks over to a shrine with 27 deities on it. His assistant gets behind him. He all of a sudden almost falls on the floor. The assistant grabs his belt, taps on his back 3 times. He jumps, and it's a different person.
He's a female at that point. This beautiful feminine voice is coming through him, and he's laughing and laughing
and giggling.
And just, there was so much love. I just felt so much love come from this man. And then goes on to.
He goes over and sits down.
Mm-hmm.
They give him a wad of chewing tobacco, and he calls me over. He spends about 45 minutes with me. He bends all your fingers back, checking your meridians for your health. He held my hands against him and chanted Om Namah Shivaya with me. He took spit out of his mouth from the chewing tobacco and rubbed it all over my face.
It was really different.
I've seen worse.
He tells me about all my healing abilities and how I'm going to be helping people, and gives me a present, a gold painted Buddha for prosperity.
Oh my gosh. You still have that Buddha?
We do, yeah, we can show it to you. Jennifer believes that this gentleman hadn't seen very many men that had that same love and compassion and healing ability. So he felt a strong kinship with me. He was in his 40s probably, but most men don't cry with their clients and run energy on them and all that stuff.
No, he's right. You are, there's more women in our field than men, and he's absolutely right.
Well, yeah, by far, almost all my clients are women.
And the other thing for me, what happened is I just was sitting there, and he looked over at me, and he said, "You are so beautiful." And I realized in that moment, he was looking at my soul. And you know how few people in our lives that look at us that you really feel seen? I felt really seen, for my soul. And so, that was a real Bobby was just amazing in that way. We both had experiences of such love, and also the experiences of portals. I was in a swim pool at an eco village that was, an eco pool with fish in it to clean it. They would nibble on you, and in the morning the birds would dip down. And one morning I went out with my cell phone. I thought, I'm going to take a picture of these fish that are nibbling on my legs. And I pointed my cell phone down, and all of a sudden the fish were swimming in the sky. I kid you not. It was the most portal I think I've ever felt. I felt the fish were swimming in the sky, the sun in the clouds, the jungle was in the pool. It was just, and the colors were just amazing. It was just a place. Bali is so close to one of their ceremonies is they make ladders out of bamboo, ladders going up and up and up, and they believe their ancestors walked down them in a certain celebration during the year. So you can invite your ancestors to come and be with you, and you feel like the veil between this world and the next is very thin in Bali. All these experiences we had were just, just amazing portal experiences.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have invited one of our guests that are watching us live to come on. Would you want to do a quick little session with her?
I'd love to.
Perfect. So let's welcome Vicki Curtis. Let's welcome her in. Yeah, she sure is such a divine, beautiful being. Hi, Vicki. Can you hear us? Oh, we're still connecting.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Yes.
I really love you guys that you are just willing to do this and show people the power of healing and what you do, because I swear to goodness, we're going to come to your retreat. Vicki, welcome. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
We can. Yay. Well, meet the Ludmans, and I'm just going to hand it off to Mark and Jennifer. And Vicki is so excited to have a healing and see what you guys do.
Hi, Vicki.
Hello.
Hi.
So can you make her picture the prominent picture? It did it for a minute.
How is that?
Didn't change anything.
Okay, so let's try this again. Vicki, well, you know what it is? Vicki has to speak.
When she spoke the first time, it got big. Try again, Vicki.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So let's see if I can.
Do I have to continue to talk?
Yes.
I'm having trouble keeping you there. So let's do a spotlight. How is that?
Oh, there we go.
That works.
Go.
So tell me a little bit. What would you like, Vicki? What are you struggling with?
I'm struggling with some physical issues. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have some masses that have appeared on my elbows. So basically I have joint pain, I have fatigue, tiredness. Anything that you can assist with would be wonderful.
Okay, it cut out after rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay. I have so I have joint pain, and currently I have some masses on my elbows that have appeared that are causing issues. I also have fatigue and tiredness.
Okay, that's enough. I get it. There's all kinds of things I would do and tell you in a session, which we lack some of the time for. There's certain things you need to be taking as far as supplements I would highly recommend. But I want to talk about your trauma. Tell me about your trauma. What do you know of your trauma?
I guess with you bringing it up, I can't really think of anything that I would consider trauma that I've experienced. I take that back. My father passed away at the end of 2020. That's the most recent, I think. Dealing with the emotions of that.
Yeah, I can feel that. There's grief there. There you go. Let yourself feel it. all this stuff that you're struggling with physically is a result of emotional things locked in you. So what I do in my work is release those and let them out. I don't know if you heard about that lady that I was saying that had bumps on her fingers.
I did not.
She just told me today that they'd gone down in half after my first session.
Oh, wow.
Now they came back this morning because she woke up upset. She went back into her pain. There. You shifted some.
I do feel a lot of time that I feel like the pain has control.
Yeah, I understand that. It's your emotional pain that really has the control. In some ways, it's kind of strange, but to you, it feels bigger than you are.
Yes.
So what we need to do is heal that emotional pain. One of the things I do with people is support them. When I work with a client, we may have weekly sessions, but I also tell them to message me between the sessions. I develop a rapport with them so they feel support, not really from me, but from source, but I act as the conduit and build this structure in them they never had, may not have had in some ways. So what I typically do in my work is I have an hour-and-a-half introductory session, and then we do weekly sessions for however long they want to take. They can last an hour, they can last a half hour, not uncommon to last 2 hours. It's their time.
Mark, what can you do to give her some takeaway, something she can work on?
Well, I don't know what's quite work on, but send me back to her picture. It left, if you can. There you go. Now, what I want you to do, remind me your name.
Vicky.
Vicky, I want you just to sit quiet for a moment, okay? There. There. Are you noticing anything?
Kind of lightening, feeling lightened.
Okay. And there isn't a right or wrong answer to that either. There. There, that feels better.
Release.
Yeah, it feels better. So one of the things you can do is anytime you're struggling with something, remember this feeling and go back to it. With my clients, I tell them, if you're struggling with something, just call my name. I'll show up energetically. There, it's better yet. Yeah, it definitely feels better. Ah, that's nice. So what we're doing now is working with your horror line. It's a Barbara Brennan concept that developed this idea. It's our connection to source and our connection to earth. You can't see my left hand, but it's connected. It's pointing down towards earth, and my right hand is bringing up energy, bringing down the energy from source into you. So we could strengthen that connection. I had a lady that came one time for a session with Jennifer. She was sitting on the couch, and I was outside working. I came in and looked at her and said, "Oh, your heart line has a bend in it. Let me fix that." 15 minutes later, I adjusted it. She told me 2 weeks later, for the first time in my life, I feel comfortable in my body. There. What's that feel like?
That was crazy. It was just like you said, like a straightening, like just a, I don't even know, a bolt like down through the center.
Well, we just opened up the sort. All we did is open up the channel so it could flow better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
And I have learned in my life that I can reach up. I can reach up with both my arms when I'm feeling when I'm having some emotions that are hard for me or physical things that are hard for me, I just reach up with my hands and I can sometimes feel the hands descending from the angels, taking hold of my hands, or however you experience it. Some people go out and hug a tree, but however you experience connection to source, just reach up your soul to ask for that help, that help.
Or I lay in bed and put my hands on my heart.
Mhm.
It actually led me to a whole series of experience where I had this energy, whatever time I'm sitting or laying down, coming into me. There. What's your heart feel like?
Open.
Yeah. It's much better.
Open.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
I don't know how it works, but I love it.
Definitely feel the energy shift for sure.
Yeah,
I'm really glad that when he asked you, how do you feel? You said, that's crazy. But it works, right?
It does.
It is crazy. I
It does.
totally agree, and I do it.
Right?
I find it crazy too.
And we don't
How
know
does
how it
that work?
works, but it works.
Yes.
Vicki, how are you feeling? What did you feel as Mark did this with you?
It did, honestly. When he had the one arm in the air and the one arm down, I could feel it was just almost like a lightning bolt, or like I almost want to say a pole. It just like went straight down from my head down to my feet. It was, I could feel that it was but it was like an energy shift. I mean, I could feel it physically.
I got some more information. You were blocking it. And I think to some extent you were mad at God.
That's a possibility.
It's like, why did you do this to me?
Or why did you take my father? Yeah.
Yeah. Which is understandable. We all have we all go through that.
Vicki, do you feel that you got worse after your father's passing?
I don't think so. I think I was actually worse before he passed. But I felt stuck, like, the medicine isn't doing anything, and like I was kind of in a holding pattern.
Well, there's no question that we could completely resolve that.
Well, as my gift to my beautiful Vicki, Mark, you and I will handle it. I'm going to make sure and pay for that for you, because
oh, stop it.
Vicki has been going through a lot. I do it out of love for you. Vicki has been going through a lot. And I hate to see my friend in so much pain that she can't even sometimes get out of bed. And it's one of those things too, and I'm sure everybody else out there has experienced it. When you have something that is not like a physical broken arm that people can see, that's tangible, sometimes people, if they can't see the physical pain in you, don't always have the compassion and understanding. And that's what some of these autoimmune diseases do.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you talked about lupus. My stepdaughter has a severe case of lupus. And there's times when people looked at her like, well, you look okay. Why are you not getting out of bed? And I know, Vicki, you've experienced that as well. So that's an emotional thing.
For sure.
And Mark, you think you can help Vicki.
I know I can.
And so is there anything else that we can, before, I don't want to let Vicki go in tears.
I want you to send me back to her. Make her picture the big one again. Okay. Just let yourself feel what you're feeling, Vicki. Oh, there's a sense of gratefulness there. That's wonderful. I want you to understand this is never going to leave you. Something happened here that will change you and never leave you again. There. That's better. Oh, better yet. Now there's a solidness developing. Oh, wonderful. You feel a lot different in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure that you take you're loving towards yourself the next day or so. If you need to rest, rest, whatever is comforting to you and caring for you. This new being has been born. We need to care for it.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But tell me this. Don't.
I'm sorry. I don't, did he ask a question?
Oh, there we go.
I think I froze up or somebody froze up.
Yep, I did. I always tell my clients, tell me I receive because of this. Thank you pushes it a little bit away, doesn't let it fully in. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. I'm not doing something to be nice. So you just say, thanks, God. I receive.
Thank you. I receive for sure.
You're welcome. Okay, Rainey.
Uh-oh, did we lose her?
I don't know. She's there, but she's not. I see her, but I don't hear anything. Hello, Rainey. We lost her.
Oh no, I'm here. So, Vicki, do you have any more questions for Mark?
Gosh, I don't actually. I mean, I'm so open to anything that will help at this point. And if shifting the energy is where I need to go, then that's what I need to do. Because Western medicine isn't always the greatest thing. And it oftentimes makes the situation worse.
Well, I have a little stronger beliefs than that, but
well,
there's three things that affect our health: toxins in our environment, lifestyle, and emotions. And emotions is a big factor, which Western medicine doesn't recognize at all. I have an orphanage I support in Kenya. This lady talks to me every day. She just sent me a message. It says, "Continue with healing, Vicki."
Oh my goodness.
It says my bundle is out. I don't know what that part means, but she's watching you from Kenya and your process.
Wow.
Is this Eunice?
Yes.
Hi, Eunice.
Hi, Eunice. Thank you. I receive.
This is the lady that told me about the 17-year-old that was having fainting spells. She met her parents at church, and their church is just sitting outside. She told a little bit about me. Her parents said, can you help my daughter? So what was happening with this lady, the 17-year-old girl, is she was walking along and she would faint and fall over in a dead faint. She fell into a fire and burnt her face all the way down the side, second-degree burns. So she asked me, can you help her? I said, send me her picture. Next day it was gone, never came back again. I knew at that point that I would not be hard to resolve for my world. I poured light into her and chased out the darkness. When I work with clients now they may message me and says, "Oh, my legs are hurting." I said, "Send me a picture." Right at the moment when we're in Messenger talking, it's not in a session. Send me a picture. I pour some more light into it.
Awesome. Did you all just see this unfold? I have chills. I have chills, and and Vicky knows me. I don't say hope very often because hope for me can be paralyzing. But I have faith that this might be the start of something very beautiful for you, Vicky. And
It's
again,
wonderful.
any questions before we sign you off?
Not at this time, no.
So let
Let me,
us
let me
know.
just say, Eunice says, and this could be a little, she doesn't speak English as her primary language. Even if I am not understanding video, encourage me to watch. I can follow also. Congratulations for your healing.
That's a beautiful message. Thank you.
When you sent something down through her, and Vicky describes it as like a pole or a lightning bolt, when you rewatch this video, you'll see that she kind of stands up more straight rather than when she first came
Yeah,
in.
sure.
It's kind of like this. It's
Sure.
almost like Vicky is this way now. Like her whole
Yeah, I understand.
body chemistry, her structure has opened and is receiving that light exchange. So Vicky, keep us posted. I hope this helped. Thank you for jumping on. I love you, girl.
Love you too.
We'll see you soon, my friend.
Bye-bye.
God bless. That was amazing, you guys. That was
It was
amazing.
perfect.
I
I'm
love
always a little nervous when I do that because I can't make it happen. It has to just come.
Aw. Well, what I would like to ask now is, Jennifer, you have this beautiful story about your singing bowls. And I kind of wanted to see if you would show us them and maybe explain how singing bowls are part of your healing modality. And maybe show us a couple, because for me, I connect with sound.
Sure, sure. The healing bowls came to me actually. I was doing a session with a lady who is a singing bowl therapist, and she said, "I'm going to pick you out some bowls," and so I paid for them, and she picked them out especially for me, and they're tuned. There's 3 of them tuned to each other, and they are vibrational. They're vibrational healing that happens when I play them. I use them sometimes when Mark and I have a group meeting. We're going to have 3 group meetings now coming up in 3 Sundays that I will have my bowls there. And sometimes after he's done a healing, I will put my bowls on the person's back. I'll have them lay down, put it on their back for their, like the 2nd and 3rd chakra area. And I use this particular bowl. It's a crystal bowl. It's made by crystal tones. And this one.
Just a second, let me explain. So these, we've all seen singing bowls if we've been in the new age of personal growth movement, and most of them are those white bowls. These are only made by one company in Arizona. They have actual crystals in them. Mm-hmm. They're a lot more expensive.
They're pure crystal. The bowl is pure crystal. And also each bowl has something different in it. Coloration's different. The sound tone is different. This one is called it's a Mount Shasta Serpentine bowl. So it has crystals from Mount Shasta ground up in the crystalline structure. And it's a grounding bowl. So I often use it on the lower chakras to ground a person into the Mother Earth.
So that bowl is unique to you. There is no other bowl like that.
No, I don't think that's true.
Well,
they make about 100 and something different bowls. So but the lady picked out which bowls are best for her. We were in Mount Shasta one time and they have all these little shops. They have a room there all full of this company's bowls. I figured they had 100 grand in that room. Just a wild guess. Her 3 bowls cost about $5,000.
Unbelievable. And explain what this one is.
This one is a Rosacrosite Bowl. It's again pure crystal, and it says selenite platinum bowl with the laughing Buddha inside. But I put this one on the heart, either on the back, when people are laying on their back, I'll put it on the back of the heart chakra or on their chest. And this one really, really helps in relaxation when I'm doing hypnosis work. It helps in relaxation and tuning into the heart chakra.
Oh my goodness. So that's part of your healing modality, is you use these different tones wherever you're guided.
Yes, and Jennifer does past life regressions.
I'm a fan.
And she does that in her sessions.
And do you use the healing bowls during those as well?
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. So we have another person chiming in. Are you ready for a picture of somebody with a question?
Sure.
So I'm going to give you the question now. I'm still waiting for them to send me the picture. But this person's name is Ron. He is tuned in right now. He's had some spiritual awakenings, and he says he's pretty overwhelmed right now. And his spiritual awakenings came when he lost his beautiful daughter, Megan, who unfortunately passed away from an overdose. They were very, very close. And as soon as I receive his picture, he just wants to know what you feel, because there's times where it comes in waves. Grief does, as it always does. But if there's anything that you're seeing that you can help him with, I should get a picture here shortly. Are you picking up on anything right now, or anything you can?
Oh, very much so.
Oh, please. And as soon as I get the picture, I'll bring it up.
It's his daughter. She's there with him.
Yes. Absolutely.
Exactly
I see his
what I
daughter
hear.
all the time.
Yes, it's his daughter. It's wonderful. She's more for him now than she was when she was physically alive. She's here to help him.
How can he recognize that? Because I feel her. She gives me signs and symbols. She comes to me always from my right, and I always see this magnificent color of like a purple ribbon just flowing through the airs when I feel her when she's close. What more can you expand on that? I got his picture. Go ahead and expand on that.
So I don't know how to explain this without working with him directly, but his daughter is his conduit to connect to source and serve other people.
I've told him that he is here to serve others. Here we go. So let's look at this picture. Let me bring that on the screen right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See that right there.
I see.
With the distortion. Okay.
Is he live? Is this alive?
That's a picture. No,
There's
there's stuff going on in him that needs to be cleared out to help with this.
He's ready for it.
Well, I don't even know how to say this, but on your left side, if you look at around your mustache, there's that little curl in your smile. It's blocking you. There, it shifted some. Rainey, can we get him on live?
Let me see if I can. That would be lovely. Let me see if I can. All right. Let me see. Jump on this link. Let me get him on. That was kind of an impromptu thing. Ron is now starting to get visitations from spirit, even, and he has a kindredship like Jennifer with angels. He's starting to see, feel, notice them. He's starting to talk to them in his dreams. They're coming through pretty loud and clear. So he's getting ready to jump on here shortly.
Okay.
And you guys, if you have a question, please post it here. Lorraine, is there a time could I get a healing?
Tell
We'll
her.
try to go ahead.
Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah, we can do that. I can be here as long as you can be here.
I can be here for a while. Lorraine, just give me a few minutes. If you can email me your picture, my email is hello@raineyday.com, RAINEYDAY.com, and we'll try to fit you in, Lorraine. If not, I'm going to post in this video all of their contact information. And what I love about Mark is you can just text him and he'll respond. Would you agree that's the best way for them to work with
Yes,
you and through you
definitely.
and to get more
Definitely.
information?
Oh, that's going to be in person. One of the things I'm toying with doing, Rainey, is doing Sunday morning live sessions.
Well, I can help you get started with that.
That's my thought now.
I'd be more than willing to do that. I think a lot of people, we could do a lot of good in the world. And what I love about you is you're in it for the right reasons. I think that that's your strength, that you just embrace wanting to help and heal people. And that through your work with your people, Eunice in Kenya, can you talk a little bit about that while we're waiting for Ron to jump on?
So I don't know. It started because I think I mentioned this father emailed me, texted me about, or messaged me on Facebook, can you help my daughter who was bedridden from an ulcer? I had no idea what to do. Finally, out of desperation, kind of, I said, I'm on the phone with her. I can't see her well. I said, point the phone at your stomach. I took my hand and pointed at her stomach, but which I couldn't see, but the intent was there. And I went, oh my God, she's got a dark force entity in her. I poured light into it and she was cured.
Literally cured that quick.
She was bedridden. What they claimed was stated was an ulcer. Next day, she's up walking around.
She went back to school.
Yeah, she went back to school and I paid for her school. So somewhere I hooked up with Eunice and we talk every day. She's got 26 kids. They're very poor. I pay for their schooling. I pay for some of their food. I pay for their medicine. If they have to go to the doctor, I pay for it. We just bought them a water tank because they were hauling the water 2 miles up a mile or something from a river. So it was $700 for the water tank. Now I'm raising money to pay for a roof because they had to build a new structure because the one they had, when it rained outside, it was raining inside.
I can't imagine. So I will make sure, Mark, if when we're done here, send me their information. I'll also put it in the description here so that if anybody wants more information or to help out, sometimes it's just the little things that we take for granted.
It's $3,600 to pay for her roof of this building they're building.
You are such a generous soul, you and Jennifer. Such a generous soul. So while we're waiting for Ron to jump on, what else can you tell us? What have we not discussed that you would like to discuss until Ron jumps on here? Like, where do we start, right? You've had a lifetime of journeys.
Oh, one of the things that we offer is we have 3 rooms here that people can come.
And campsites.
So people can come for personal retreat. They can come here to do healing. I just finished a month long in February, a Niacin sauna detox program where I was 90 minutes in the sauna every day, taking supplements, guided through by this mentor that I have that's fabulous at this sauna detox. She's the leading mentor in the world, actually, to help you with the sauna detox. And so we have all different things to share with people, healing process.
I've learned a lot about alternative health. So I have certain things I recommend to anyone to take, and specific things for help also with the process.
Oh, please expand on that, because, and my legal team is already telling me, we're not doctors, so follow up with your doctor, but we're pretty right. So think about it, do your research. I'm ready, I'm going to do it. Tell me, what can we do?
The basic things you need. The biggest problem we have is not vitamin shortage, it's mineral shortage.
Ah, yes. And like chelated minerals, correct?
Well, concentrates is one I recommend highly.
I never
It's a
thought of
liquid
that.
you buy. It comes in a blue bottle. It's minerals from the Salt Lake
The
Sea.
Great Salt Lake. It's minerals from the Great Salt Lake. So
And here's how you follow the protocol. You start with a couple of drops and you take it until you have 1 bowel movement for every meal. Every person should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. That seldom happens.
so the toxins then build up in our body if we're not having those 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. The toxins build up in our body. So that's really a really helpful one. We take MSM too, and that helps.
It's
you know,
sulfur.
Sulfur. Mhm.
It's called MSM. It tastes horrible,
Yes.
but I'll be 69 in a couple of weeks. I still do hard physical labor, get up on 40-foot ladders, carry wood stoves in the house, and I don't have aches and pains.
I'm hooked because 61 is right around the corner. So I'll try to gather that together. We might start doing this every Sunday and get more information for you. So Ron has joined. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for all you do. And these people are so worthy and kind and loving. Almost on. We've got Ron coming on with us now. To get visitations from
Oh, I got Lisa. I got Lisa. Oh, there's Ron.
Shall we spotlight? Hey, you guys turn down. We got a little bit of feedback.
You guys see me?
Yes,
We
now we see
do.
you.
We do. So, shall I spotlight him? Make him big.
Please, please.
Welcome, Ron.
Hello. Hi, guys. Hi, Mark. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
So tell me a little bit about you, Ron.
Let me just work this a little bit. Get the volume up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say that again, Mark.
Tell me a little bit about you.
Me, I always start off, I'm a retired police officer in New York City.
Oh,
2 daughters, 5 grandsons.
okay. What are you feeling?
No, just think when you said my daughter was here with me, I'm gonna probably be a mess, but I'm sorry about that.
No, no, Ron, that's what you want to be.
In touch with your.
Yeah, when you said my daughter's here, it just brings so much emotion and love, and
Oh, guess who? She just showed up.
she's
I can feel her.
She always does, without fail.
amazing. She's amazing.
So Ron, there's 2 things going on with you. You had this amazing experience happening with your daughter, who's assisting you and helping you with your soul growth and to help others. But you have this trauma in you, partly from her daughter, but some of it comes from your police years.
I have a lot of trauma.
Say that again.
I just said I have a lot of trauma. Started pretty early.
Yeah, I get that. I
And
get that. That's see how he holds his mouth.
Mhm.
That's what we need to help you clear. Oh, that was interesting. It shifted.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It did shift.
He kind of wrinkled his nose and moved his mouth all of a sudden. That was a shift. There he does it again. See that?
I don't even know what I'm doing.
I know, it's okay. There's energy coming into you, healing you. Oh, yeah. Now you're breathing it in.
Mark, are you
What do
still
you feel?
there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
What are you feeling, Ron?
Right before I got on, I was just feeling it was like overwhelmed. I just feel I was having trouble breathing a little bit, and I
Yeah.
don't know if that had
Yeah.
to do about coming. I was ready to come on, or out of the blue a little bit. Yeah, I had some. I've had some physical ailment the past month or so with my heart.
Oh,
Just I had a pacemaker put in.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I just did sometimes I'm walking a lot and just sometimes I feel like I'm having problems catching my breath.
It's has to do with letting yourself feel your pain. You don't know how to do that. You're scared to do that. And it's something you probably can't do on your own. You need support to do that.
I was telling Rainey all week, I definitely have to come see you guys.
Where do you live?
California,
Well,
Carmichael.
but understand, you don't have to come see me to do this process. I have a lady that I work with every week now that came out to see me. And her friend came, booked a room. And she said, can I bring my friend? I said, sure. So we're sitting there talking. And I said, I'll show you what I do. So I worked on her friend. Then I worked on her and I went, oh my God, do you know you have a bright light in you? You're a saint. But the reason I'm telling you this is, this lady actually had a life as a disciple of Buddha. But what reason I'm telling you this is, she came to see me that time and she came back one other time. Then she said, I can't come out there all the time. She lives 45 minutes away from me. I said, let's do it over the internet. She said, will it work? I said, yes. So we did a session. She says, that was more powerful than when I came. Distance has little effect on it. It's always good to see someone in person, but I work with people all over the world and all over the country. It doesn't make any difference.
So let's affect a healing.
Say that again, Rainey.
So let's affect a healing. I asked everybody who's also watching, please send loving light to Ron. So as Mark does his thing, we are also helping. It's partly if it's a male thing. Look at that smile.
I want to try to be hard right now, but I can't.
No, good. Don't. That's the problem we're having. You block yourself by trying to put up this shell to protect yourself. The biggest thing you can do is slowly let your shell come down. Oh, that's a little better. Oh, yes. Now let that come in. There. Oh, yes. Get out your heart bowl, your practitioner bowl. Hang on just a second here. Okay, play that one.
We cannot hear it too much on our side.
There it comes. So he's afraid. There. That's better.
receive.
What'd that feel like, Ron?
When you first started, I felt a surge.
Uh-huh.
Surge in my, I guess this is actually considered my heart area. But I felt the
Right,
surge,
Chuck, right in the
I
middle.
guess, of energy. I could feel myself still then going back to trying to put up a wall, I guess.
I understand. It's okay. It scares you. When you were a policeman, were you not taught how to not be careful that if you got shot or not get shot?
It was taught by being without even thinking by training. We didn't even really think about it. Was all came instinctual after a while
Yeah.
through our training. But it was after I retired and thinking about all the situations I was in, and like it's pretty scary sometimes.
Yes, right.
But the whole day and just sometimes I look back and go, I don't know how I did it. I had a lot of stuff going on outside of work at the same time, and yeah. But
Your nervous system does not know how to differentiate between the different types of energy. So when I do energy work on you, it's the same interpretation like someone's attacking you in some way.
you saying I'm putting up my defense is up?
Yes, because it's an instinctual thing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's called a
I've kept
perception.
people at bay for years by doing that.
Say that again.
I've kept people at bay from years.
Yes, yes. Okay, so now you need to decide, is that working for you?
No. No.
So then you say, oh, I think I want to change that.
Can I tell you,
Smart.
when I started working with Ron myself, Ron's walls have really come down a lot, Ron. So give yourself some credit. You are more open to spirit, to energy than you've
Yes.
ever been before. So remind yourself to just keep that open-mindedness, because you even told me you've had some very tangible experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Try to go back to that. It's like what Jennifer was talking before, that little girl inside of me sometimes wants to go back to that trauma, but I just have to accept it and remind myself that I don't need to live in that trauma anymore. Agree, Jennifer and Mark?
Yes, I think you're going to be amazed, Ron. I know you're going to be amazed by what starts happening as you work on this. It's the same way it works for me. Like, how do I do this? I don't know. The same thing's going to happen for you. It's not you doing it. It just happens through you. You're just the middle guy.
And I think when you continue to keep growing in your abilities and your receptiveness, your receptivity, with that open heart, that your heart has never been more open. I mean, even now you're texting me, guess what I saw last night, Rainey? And you've gone down the rabbit holes of learning about angels. Keep that in your forefront and try to, I call these behaviors knee-jerk reactions, because our human existence has attuned to that way of being. And I call it just kind of changing your frequency, like you change the channel on a radio, that you're tuning to a higher frequency that over a shorter period of time, this doesn't take years. Would you agree, Mark?
Oh, definitely.
It can happen instantaneous. Like you've talked about instantaneous healings. I've seen them. So have faith that over the next little bit, that you're just going to be more and more open. Rainey's going to send me down more and more rabbit holes and be receptive to how this is all going to take place without worrying about the outcome. just let it happen, because sometimes people get too tied into, well, I still have this pain over here, although everything else is resolved. You're tied to the outcome that is not really what spirit and source energy has in mind for you. You have to trust that source energy knows what's best for you, and just allow that healing to flow over its divine timing. Is there anything that I may have misrepresented, Mark or Jennifer, and what your belief system is?
I'm sorry, you can't talk what she's doing. I can't hear her. Say that again, Rainey.
So, I'm a person that tries to educate people to not be attached to the outcome.
Okay.
That to understand that everything is divine timing. Everything is from source
Yes,
energy.
I agree.
And source really knows our path and what's best for us at the time. And I have a lot of clients, not a lot, I have a few clients that sometimes go back to those knee-jerk reactions, those childhood memories. And they may have been healed 90%, but this little one thing that they had their hopes on didn't get healed. They lose that flow, that receptivity. So what I'm asking everybody to do is, when you get these healings, don't be tied to, okay, this may still be here or linger, but there's a reason that's still being worked through, that you just have to have faith that the creator knows what's best for you in this time and space, and just allow the receptivity to continue to flow. Don't hyper focus on, if this lump isn't gone, then there is no healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Expand on that, how your thinking is, because Ron, I'm feeling like he's more now receptive and more open. And I mean, look at him now.
What I want you to understand, Ron, is it was perfect timing when your daughter passed. It was meant to be. I believe that when we come onto earth, it can change, but we pre-plan our when we leave.
It's a contract that we have when we come from spirit into this physical form. And
Yes.
there's certain points in there that we have some free will, but we've kind of decided how we're going to live this life for its highest and greatest, and the highest learning.
Exactly.
Somebody just posted that they saw that your dog felt the energy more than you did.
Oh, that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Sandra and Vicky noticed the shift in the dog, because dogs are more receptive. So Ron, be the dog. Be one with the dog.
I feel like I am. I'm the leader of the pack over here.
See? Anything
Just
else,
don't
Mark?
food.
Right? Anything else, Mark and Jennifer, for Ron?
Well, I just want to emphasize is again, your daughter is very important. I'm sure it was painful in her passing, but it was perfect timing. It was what was meant to be for her and for you.
I don't even know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
That's that just being receptivity.
Yes, it's all about our soul involvement. It's what your daughter needs to do to move her soul forward. And she's going to help support you in your work. She already is.
So when
Thank you.
he said she's going to support you in your work, we have talked about this, that you have some work to do.
I'm doing some research already, and I think about it almost every day.
That Megan is going to be able to affect help on this earth through you, Ron, to help others in similar situations. Megan is very powerful, very passionate. And I agree with Mark. She's always around you.
So let me see his picture again, Rainey.
Yes.
Make it large. Yeah, so it's on your left side, which is your feminine side. It's where she's coming through. She's wanting to expand that feminine presence in you. You're actually scared of.
The soft.
Yeah, so
open-hearted.
Your challenge and goal is to become more feminine.
More soft and open-hearted.
which is a feminine trait.
Yeah, which is a feminine trait, because we're all masculine and feminine. Every one of us, we're all masculine and feminine. Yeah, it's just letting a new part kind of come forward. The masculine's been so strong, just kind of letting the new part come forward.
The gentleman in Bali that I had, the healer in Bali, what he liked about me was I let my feminine come out. We bonded over that. But I had a lady one time that was very gifted, this very psychic, look at me and go and start flipping like she's going through a Rolodex. And she says, "You're very strange. Almost all your past life has been as men." It makes sense to me.
And
But
I
I'm able
have
to
to,
let my-
I have to
Go ahead.
point out too that, so you said the left side of his body is the feminine and the right side is masculine. Our right side is our projecting hand. That is the masculine, but our receptive hand is the
Okay.
right
Yeah.
hand, or
Yes,
the
true.
left, the receiving hand is the left hand. So maybe here's something that, here's some education. So the next time you reach for the phone, are you right or left-handed?
I'm actually right-handed, but I do a lot of things with my left hand.
So start doing more with your left hand. When the phone rings, pick it up with your right hand and hit the button to accept the call with your left, receiving. The next time you open your door to leave the home, you start focusing on the feminine side of you, so that starts channeling more energy through that receptivity, that receptive hand. So when you open your car door, open it with your receptive hand, which is your left, you're receiving your feminine hand. And that should help everybody watching. That's how you balance the masculine and feminine.
Excellent.
Hold a rose in your hand, a purple rose. And allow that femininity, and purple for me represents Megan. Have that beautiful energy just flow through you and just hold it out in a receptive mode.
And
How does that
purple's a
make you
very
feel?
purple's a very spiritual color.
Yes.
That's my
She had her hair
daughter's
dyed
color.
purple.
That's Megan's color.
Yep, well, that makes total sense.
Anything else, Mark, you want to help Ron with before we let him go? And Ron, if there's anything else you want to say. So Mark, you first.
Well, I don't have anything specific. Do you have any other questions, Ron, or?
I'm just blown away right now. I'm feeling real emotional, and I want to thank you guys for doing this.
But tell me, I receive.
I receive.
I don't look at it as, I'm just doing my job. I could always say not to do my job, but that would be a mistake.
And you
We
couldn't
also
go
have
against
jobs-
your grain if you wanted to, Mark.
Well, I think that's kind of true.
And I want to tell you something about symbolism. As I'm looking at Ron, I see there's a backdrop, and on your left side is an eye.
Mhm.
And this beautiful animal pointing his head, looking up. So when you rewatch this, look at that. And I want you to see and ask Spirit, what are they trying to show me and tell me through this symbolism? Because
That's very good, Rainey.
I feel that you are being watched over, and Megan had such a connection to
Oh,
animals.
yes.
That animal is looking up at Megan.
Yes.
I have chills
I
all
totally
over my
agree.
body. My butterflies are going to fly off my arm.
There we go.
Bam. We're good together. We're good here. Well, Ron, God bless you.
Thank you.
To the moon and back. We love you, and thank you for jumping on and trusting all of us with this beautiful healing, and keep us posted.
You know I will.
And if you ever need to get a hold of Mark, I'm going to put anybody watching, I'm going to
Yes.
put Mark's information, and the best way to do is text him. He responds quickly, and you know what? Having a trip up there might be really good for you and Lisa. Take a ride up there. It's not that far. It's not that many hours. Enjoy this beautiful oasis in nature.
Thank you so much. Mark and
God bless
Jennifer,
you.
thank you.
All right, guys,
And
we'll
can
see.
I say one more thing?
Yes,
Rainey?
please.
Yeah, Ron, I would, when you say I'm feeling real emotional, I would think about replacing that word. I'm feeling my heart. I'm feeling my heart. My heart is talking.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, now I really have chills.
Thank you
Because
so
I
much.
tell Ron all the time, words are energy.
Yes,
I've
exactly.
replaced, I've replaced the word hope with faith. Hope,
Yes.
faith. See
It's
the
very important how
difference
you
in the
talk.
word? Jennifer, good on you. Very good. All right, Ron, God bless you. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Wow, guys, you're amazing. Everybody out there, did you just watched, oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm feeling my heart. I saw two people that are very dear and near to my heart shift. And their paralyzing word hope, because before they came on, there was hope, but now they have faith. And I equate it to the beautiful Mark and Jennifer. Thank you so much. We just saw some beautiful healing unfold before our eyes. And I want to remind everybody that spirit is not separate from us. We are that spiritual energy. And Mark and Jennifer, I really want to talk to you offline about maybe doing this every Sunday. Look at how many people that we have affected. I'm so grateful. Is there anything, because we're now at an hour and 30 minutes, we probably should sign off. Is there anything else you want to leave these people watching, leave them with?
Well, for me, it's really all about source. If you come to my house and our center, you'll see all these religious items in my house from all the most of the religions in the world. I have a whole collection of them. But my primary devotion is to the master, which I call Jesus, who showed us the way to get back to source. And that's what we're all working on.
Jennifer, how about you? Any final thoughts?
Well, every day when I wake up, I just take a few moments to reach up and to connect to source. And I kind of stay there until I feel the angels take my hands, and I think that when we look to that source every day before our day begins, magic happens. To me, magic happens. And I ask for source to gather all the people, that will be in the day, just bring us together in the love of the divine.
And that starts your energy to start vibrating at a higher frequency. And when your vibrational energy is high, those lower energies have trouble staying in the light. And so you don't get that depression. You don't get all of those lower frequency feelings because you're vibrating at such a higher level. What a great way to start your day. And Vicki wanted me to tell you that, Mark, when you mentioned there's a feeling of gratefulness, she was at that moment thinking gratitude, and she said, very cool, because you said out loud what she was thinking at that moment, space and time. That's confirmation.
Happens quite often.
Wow, that was awesome. Well, Mark and Jennifer, we will talk offline. We may be bringing you a whole new every Sunday healing show. You never know. But thank you for your love and your grace. I am honored to be in your presence, and thank you for trusting me to facilitate this. May God kiss your day, and just we're going to get the word out there of what your beautiful Oasis.com can do for you. God bless you guys. Thank you all for
Rainey.
joining in. Please subscribe. Please pass this along so that we can continue to grow and continue to bring you this wonderful content that is truly divinely led. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day, everybody. It's Saturday.